My name is Matthew Katz. I'm the CEO of CAMS, or Central Account Management System. When the Department of Justice publicly stated that online gambling is no longer considered illegal, they didn't legalize it, but they said it's not illegal. We looked at the industry and thought it was a very good opportunity and a good industry to be involved in. So we made the decision to invest and start CAMS. There's actually two companies that I'm CEO of. One is Verify, which is around 9 years old, and that's my main business. We provide very similar services to industries outside of gambling. So online dating, social networking, infomercials, foreign exchange trading, etc. When the DOJ said that online gambling is not illegal, we looked at the suite of tools and software that we've built at Verify and thought that it was very applicable to gambling. So we made the decision as a company to build CAMS and make that investment. We focus in three primary areas, but have a lot of ancillary services. So the three primary areas that CAMS focuses in is payments, geolocation, and player ID or verification, so age and ID verification. In addition, we do risk management, tokenization. We're very heavy when it comes to analytics and a very robust decisioning engine. CAMS only operates in gambling, but in the United States, we're currently live in Nevada, New Jersey, and within state lottery. And then globally, we're live in most countries with our partnerships with companies such as B1 Party Poker. We have a very clean offer. You do one contract and one integration via one API to CAMS, and from that you can access just about every bank around the world, multiple third-party databases for things like age and ID verification, and a handful of geolocation providers. So what our focus at CAMS is really a universal platform and a connection point. Our job on behalf of the operator is then to connect to as many different third parties as our operators are looking for to add as much value, but also to simplify their operations. So we're cheaper than if you were to go direct to all of our third-party companies because of our volume and scale. And we very much simplify through one online portal the day-to-day operations of it as well. When looking at the United States, obviously the significant trend is the expansion of the industry. So we have a very keen eye on future states that are considering going live and regulating the industry. Globally, including the United States, I think that technology is really the biggest trend. Geolocation, for instance, was never designed to control borders on a state-by-state basis, or truly even, depending on the size of the country, country by country. So because this industry has relies so heavily on separation of states or countries, we're seeing heavy investment into geolocation technology, which I think really changes the internet as a whole. And that's actually a big part of why we made the decision to invest and create CAMS. It's not that, I love to gamble, I do enjoy it, but it's really because we see this industry in the United States changing the entire internet as a whole. It's the first industry that has state-by-state controls. It's the first industry that has taxation inherently built into it. So we see the online gambling industry, at least in the United States, as a test ground, a pilot, if you would, that states can look at for future things like taxation or regulation of the internet. The trends that we see coming in the United States, at least, are definitely heavy investments in geolocation technologies. Mobile is an interesting one. Obviously, everybody right now is focused so heavily on mobile in every industry because it's so great to be able to reach out to your customer, allow me to make a purchase from my cell phone, which is on me at all times. My laptop is not on me. So we definitely see a lot of conversion, a lot of adoption to mobile platforms, and I'll bet that continues for a while. Payments has a fairly high decline rate in the United States because the banks are not necessarily comfortable with it being rolled down as state by state versus federally. Obviously, geolocation is going to have a lot of investments because it's a critical piece. Multi-state multi-state compacts are also becoming very interesting, as we all know from the statistics of the industry for the last decade. California represents such a majority piece of the United States poker market, at least. But when you look at all the other states, Nevada, New Jersey, Delaware, potentially California, potentially New York, Pennsylvania, there's not enough players to create a great experience in an individual state outside of California necessarily. So, the concept of these multi-state compacts is really an amazing change to the internet. but I think it creates a lot of opportunity as well to this industry. I think every industry, whether it's an industry that's considered mature or if it's an emerging industry like regulated gambling in the United States on the internet, as an industry, I think that there's got to be more unification from the voice of the industry, if you would. We all saw in New Jersey when it went live that the governor felt that it could create $2 billion worth of revenue, which unfortunately is nowhere near what we're seeing in the state. I think as an industry, we're going to be negatively affected by that, because now as other states look or consider adopting it, is it really worth it for that state to do it when you have so much cost that goes into the regulation of a new industry in a state? But is it beneficial enough for the state? And I think over time it certainly will be. But as an industry, I think we all can do a better job of creating a central voice to really lobby the states with a common and key message that we're growing, we're here to stay, and it's only a matter of time before we can be the positive contributor to the state's revenue that the states need to adopt regulation. Payments and geolocation. Payments has, depending on the statistic, anywhere from a 40 to 60% decline rate, which is horrific. If I look at our traditional e-commerce merchants at my other company, Verify, our customers will have a 96, 97, 98% approval rate. This industry has a horrible approval rate, and it's very detrimental. So I think that, focus on payments and fixing this issue is going to be key. Geolocation issues, improving the technology will be key as well. Most recently, I was nominated by a magazine as one of the 50 most influential people in gambling, which was very cool. We don't really do this for awards or anything. We are very much what the term that we have is heads down. We're very focused on our customers and adding value and being the best partner we can. And we're not really concerned about trying to win awards in the industry. It's never been our focus. I think there's a lot of people who are attracted to the industry because you're combining technology with the internet, which is great. You're combining a lot of potential money coming in and out since it's gambling, and you're combining we all have a preconceived notion of what gambling is in our heads. So you've got this perfect three factors that come together, and it's a very attractive market for somebody to want to work in. The problem is none of these industries supports laziness. You have to work your butt off, and if you can be passionate about what you do, then you will absolutely be successful no matter what happens. I do. I personally enjoy playing blackjack. Relative statement, yeah. Probably the best win that I ever had is I sat down at a blackjack table with $200 and I walked out with $3,000, and I was beyond thrilled.